Guys, so I'm gonna disclaimer this real quick before I get started. I am making this for anybody who needs to hear it, who needs this message right now. I'm making it for those of you who know me, who don't know yet the news, and for those of you who do know, you are more than welcome to continue watching because I believe this is very motivational and very helpful. I'm not doing this though for you to go on this person's social media to contact them and harass them. I'm not doing it to bash them. It's informational and it's helpful. This is what this is for. So let's get to it. So, for those of you who know me, because this is going to go on a few things, and one of them's Facebook. So, family and friends who know me, get ready to, I guess, celebrate because me and my daughter's father are no longer together. I cut it off. I broke the relationship up. So if you are, I guess, celebrating, chill out. 1, 2, you can, like, I guess, congratulate me, say I'm so happy for you, good. What I don't want to hear is I told you so, because y'all were telling me for a really long time and I didn't listen, but it takes time. These things take time because, well, you'll figure it out here in a bit. I'm gonna talk to y'all. So yeah, we're not together anymore. And the people who know me and who are happy for me for leaving this relationship, you are celebrating because you know how you treated me. And for those of you who don't know me, don't know what I'm talking about, and it's really just, so my ex cheated me bad, like really, really bad. And there's a point where I don't blame him because the relationship that he had as like a little, I don't know what to say. I don't know how to say this. The relationships he's seen apart from his parents weren't the best. So I can't really blame him. All I can do is pray that he grows and learns from this experience and turns into the man that our daughter needs him to be, to show her, like, this isn't how you treat a girl, this isn't okay. So let's go into a little bit of detail on what happened in this relationship. So it was a mentally abusive relationship, not physical. I don't think it would ever get physical. I think he knew that if it had gotten physical, that if I didn't beat his ass, that some of my family members would. Pardon my French. And if you are in an abusive relationship and you're watching this, 1, you need to go get yourself some self-defense classes and put that boy in his place, okay? Well, actually, don't do that. That's probably really unsafe. But get self-defense classes, because for a man to lay a hand on a woman unprovoked is bullshit. And in fact, for a girl to put her hands on a man unprovoked is bullshit too. It's not okay to hit people if they're not asking for it. Be nice. And then you also need to get out of that relationship and, like, call the cops and get a restraining order, because that is not okay. Mental abuse relationships are not okay either, because even though you don't have scars on the outside, you have scars on the inside. We're getting deep. He used to call me names. Obviously, he used to talk down to me. He used to treat me like total complete shit. I met him when I was 17, and I thought I found love. Because when you're 17, you're dumb, and you think things like that. So I was like, ooh, here's someone who loves me. I'm going through a really hard time right now. He'll help me. Boy, was I wrong. In fact, we even made it harder on ourselves by getting pregnant. So he moves in, I'm having his kid, and he still hasn't grown up yet. I mean, he's 17. He's a 17-year-old kid having a kid, and he's supposed to grow up, and it's already hard, like you know, like to just grow up so fast. And I'm not trying to make excuses for him, but I'm also saying, like, okay, think about both sides. Anyways, so me being pregnant with his kid still somehow managed to get like shit on all the time by him, whether it was like just a freaking dirty ass look or him making me feel so stupid, him starting fights and then calling me like a fucking name, and ooh, sorry, didn't mean to cuss. It was just little things like that like, and they build up. You don't think about it, but they do. They build up. So then once that happens in your mind, you're like, okay, this pissed him off last time. I don't want to get called a name, so I'm not going to do that. But there's always going to be a reason for him to call you a name. There's always going to be a reason for him to be mean to you. And to think that he treated me that way while I was carrying his kid is messed up in itself. But I was young, like, and I was dumb, and I thought, okay, you know, this is love. And for me, like, I don't want to say this, I love my parents, but for part of my life, there wasn't a very they weren't very healthy. And I think I saw that, and I was like, that's what a relationship is. And so I'm not trying to bash them either in this. Like, I'm not trying to like drag them down into this, because I love them and I'm so thankful for them. But this is also a lesson to parents out there. Like, you treat your spouse how you want your kids to be treated, because they're gonna see that and they're gonna think it's okay to be called names, to fight like that, to, you know, stuff like that. Because I did. I was like, okay, well, it's just one name, it's just one look, and just one turned into a bunch, and I let him get away with it. And after having our daughter, which was a traumatic experience in itself, I developed postpartum, and he wasn't the very most understanding and most helpful during that time, like I needed him to be. His excuse always was, well, I'm working, and that's how I'm helping you. But the thing was, one, he didn't know how to hold a job. He was still learning how to do that. And two, there's wife beaters who go to work every day and come home and take it out on their wives. So I don't want to hear it. And it got to a point too where I even told him, I was like, you're just being really mean to me. And he would be like, well, if you don't like it, then leave. And in my mind, I was like, well, I don't want that. I just want you to change. And it took me till now to learn that people aren't going to change unless they want to change. You can't make them change. And unfortunately, I had to learn that, and it took me a long time to learn it, but I have. So after all that stuff, all my postpartum, after having her, it still didn't change. And there was a point where I kind of fell out of love with him, and I was more of like, I don't want to take this anymore, so I'm gonna stick up for myself. But then my sticking up for myself I turned into a bitch instead. Like, I was just mean, and it was just us being mean to each other back and forth, which isn't healthy either, because my daughter sees that and she's gonna think that's healthy, and it's not. So it was that, and it, like I said, it just builds and it builds, because it was him calling me names, me trying to stick up for myself and being mean, and then our fights would escalate, and we were just calling each other name left and right, saying like just mean shit to each other. And then it wasn't even just the fights and the names, it was like he was controlling. I would try to better myself by working out, by reading my books and stuff, and I'd always be like, how come you're trying to get skinny? Who are you trying to get skinny for? I like you the way you are. You should just stay the way you are, because no one's gonna want you the way you are right now, and like shit like that. And he literally would say that to me, and it was just crazy. I'd let him talk to me like that. And so, like, with that and just the name calling, I just kind of was like, done. He wouldn't let me go out. He wouldn't, he'd call me and my friends while we were out, and he'd like bother all of us. And it's like, I just didn't want that anymore. I wanted to be able to work out and eat healthy without getting questioned about it. I wanted to be able to go out with my friends and just have a good time, have a social life without getting harassed, without getting called names for it. I just wanted to, feel loved. And I just didn't feel loved in that relationship. It wasn't a good relationship. It was unhealthy. And I don't want my daughter to see me in a relationship like that. I want her to know that her mom's strong, that her mom loves herself, that her mom knows that she's worth so much more, because my daughter is worth so much more. She's like the most amazing thing on earth, and the thought of someone treating her the way her dad treated me kills me. And so I had to make that change first, because I had to be like, you know what? If she sees him treat me that way, she's gonna think it's okay. And that's one of my biggest things. And that's what made me wanna go, like, it just like I'm gonna keep going back to the whole thing of like it builds up, because girls, they leave relationships mentally before they do physically, and that's exactly what happened. It just was like a hit after hit after hit, and finally I was like, I'm done. I wanted to go out with my friends. I was like, hey, I'm gonna go out with these people, and it turned from, I just wanted to spend time with you, to, you always act like a whore when you're with them. And I was like, are you serious? I haven't gone out with them in a long time. And the fact that I felt like I had to explain myself to want to go out and do something is just ridiculous after being called the name. And so I was like, you know what, I'm done. This is done. I'm done. And that's what happened. And I'm not going back. I don't plan on going back, because as soon as I did that, it was like a weight was lifted, and I needed to do so much more stuff. And as soon as I did that, I was like, I'm gonna hit the gym, I'm gonna eat healthy. And that's exactly what I'm doing. I've lost 10 pounds already, and I feel so much better about myself. I feel so beautiful, and just like, this year is truly my year. I mean, on top of this, there's relationships that I can't be a part of right now. And so I'm trying to work on those too. I'm just really trying to work on myself. And that's what you need to do. You need to work on yourself. So for those people who are watching this and who are like, wow, that sounds like my relationship, that's how I'm being treated, it's like, okay, I feel bad for you. I'm so sorry, but I'm so glad that you are listening to this. I'm so glad that you're hearing this right now, because you are perfect. You are worth so much more, and the way you're being treated right now is bullshit, and you should not be putting up with it, because you do. You deserve so much more. Don't be afraid to leave that relationship because you think that's all you can have, that's all you can get, because there's someone probably way cuter than the person that you're with now, who's treating you like shit, who will treat you like the king or queen that you are. I haven't found that yet. It's too soon, but I'm loving myself. And you know what? That's something that y'all need to do too, is just take care of yourself first. Leave that relationship and just mentally cleanse, and physically, and just, because when you do, it just feels so good. I feel so good. It's just, I do. I feel so good. And I wanted to let everybody know that that's, what happened. And hold on, I need to restart my computer. We back. But like I said, I just feel good. And so I hope this makes people realize, like, okay, it's gonna be okay, because it's gonna be okay. You're gonna be okay. And if you know me personally and you're going through it, I'm so sorry and I love you, and please message me if you need anything, because I promise it's gonna be okay. You're gonna be okay. That person is no more. They're non-existent. They were an experience, a really bad one, but you're gonna learn from it, and you're gonna learn to love yourself and take care of yourself, because you are worth so much more. You were put on this earth for a reason, and that reason was not to be abused and talked down to, I promise. And to the friends and family who stayed and watched this whole video, I want to thank you for loving me and for being supportive and trying to tell me. And I'm so sorry I didn't listen. It just takes time. I had to do it on my own time. And I did it though. I'm here and I'm healthy and I'm losing weight. I'm being the best person I can be. And it's because of just leaving a toxic relationship. Leaving a relationship that made me feel like I was drowning, made me feel like I was nothing. So just please take that step. If you're watching this and you're like, wow, that's me, take that step. Don't be afraid. It'll be fine. You're gonna be fine. It'll take a minute, but you're gonna be fine. And if you need me, I'm here. Message me. Do whatever you need. We can be workout buddies. Just know that you are beautiful and you are worth so much more, and you're here for a reason. I know I keep saying that, but it's true. It is. It's so true. Just love yourself. If you don't think you're worth loving, but you are. So I also wanted to let y'all know that I've made this 3 times, and I cried so many times. And it was really bad. I cried really ugly. So y'all, sorry y'all didn't get to see that. But again, thank you to those who knew and tried to help me. Thank you for trying to help, but it's finally done. I am being my better me. I am getting healthy. I'm just, alright. I'm gonna actually do work. Love you guys, bye.